Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avery and today's video is going to be a YNAB budget with me. I feel like every time I film a video, I never know if I should make it feel very formal or if it should just be very casual, but I want to be casual, but every time I'm on the camera, I'm like, oh, I must talk like I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avery and today's video is going to be a YNAB budget with me. Another thing about filming videos is it does not matter how many times I've done it. I barely can stare at the webcam right now. It feels so awkward to stare at the camera. I want to look off into the distance like this and just talk to you about my thoughts, but I will try my best to stare at you, I guess. But today's video is going to be a YNAB budget with me. So this is a certified classic video on my channel. This is how my channel started. I've been filming YNAB budget with me since I think it's January of 2022. So it's been 3 years, so that's what's going on with that. So I have been using YNAB, which is a budgeting software, for over 3 years now. So I started in September of 2021, and I really like it. So if it's something that you're interested in and want to try out, I'll leave a link down below to a 34-day free trial. If you end up subscribing using my link, you will get an additional month free, and I will also get a month free. So something to keep in mind. Also, let's ignore the hair, and hopefully the microphone sounds okay, because I'm still trying to figure out how to speak into it and how close to be to it. So it might be a bit of a problem. Hopefully not, because I really do not like editing videos, honestly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. This is basically going to be a February budget with me, since it's currently January 30th, so it's basically February. So pretty much everything that I needed to do in January has already been done. So I'm using my last paycheck in January to kind of fill out or continue with my February budgeting goals. In YNAB, if I could move to February, you can see that I've already filled in some things already, like rent and my part of groceries, things like that. So this paycheck will basically be me trying to fill out the rest of those categories, at least anything that I definitely need to fill out. And then I'm going to take any extra money I have left over and put it towards my various financial goals, which I have a lot of them. I do not know about you guys, but I have been just all over the place. I want to make a specific video about this, and I have a lot of video ideas, but it's kind of hard to get to them all, but I'm working on it. But yeah, today I have $2,225.49 to budget. This is more money than I normally get in a paycheck. I normally have $1,686.66, but this time around, I technically didn't get any extra income. This is just part of a reimbursement that I got from someone for paying for their flight for the cruise that I'm going on in March. So between the last time I made a flight payment and now how am I trying to say this? So when I purchased their flight, I had already covered the spending with money that I had. So now that I got the money back, I'm going to just reallocate it based off of whatever I'm feeling now. That's what's happening there. So that's why I have over $2,200 to budget. Yes, let's go ahead and talk about this. I know I just said I need to fill out February, but honestly, I'm going to go to April because I like to get very far ahead with my rent. And the reason why I like doing this is because it's my largest expense. It's my largest routine expense each month. And because of that, I want to make sure that I am ahead on it. That way, if anything happens to my income, like if there's any sort of delays or issues, I know at the very least I can pay my rent and continue with that. Another thing that's nice about it is since I set aside money for my rent so far in advance, I am going to hit the end of my lease cycle in May, as far as setting aside money for that goes. So then that means I have $672 between May and July each month to put towards other financial goals or anything else I need to pay. But yes, every paycheck I put $336.25 towards rent. Now that I've done that, we can go back into February. As far as how January went, it was an okay month. I have no opinion whatsoever, I guess. I don't have an opinion on January, which I guess is a good thing. It was long, but it wasn't as long as it normally feels. It was really cold here in Ohio, but now it's getting warmer, and it's also kind of getting brighter. So I'm having a good time, kind of, I think. I don't always have a whole lot special to say about it. As far as like how February is going to go, I think it's also going to be fine. There's nothing going on. It's a shorter month too, so in theory, I'll spend less money, I guess. Yeah. Something I'll tell you guys about is I'm just gonna do some tangents real quick. Something I'll tell you guys about is I did purchase tires. I don't think the charge actually came through yet. No, the charge has not come through yet on here, but it was like $828. And on Saturday, I'm getting them replaced. So I bought 4 Michelin Defender 2 tires. You know you're an adult when you're so excited. So excited, it's like kind of a strong way to put it. You know you're an adult when you buy 4 tires at once. So it's not when you turn 18, it's not when you turn 21, it's whatever age you are when you purchase 4 new tires for your car. That's the age of adulthood as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I spent over $800 on those, but because I don't drive that often, I think they will last quite a while. Yes. So that's something that happened in January, but otherwise, nothing of note has really happened. Hopefully you don't hear any screaming in the background because I live not too far from a school and I'm doing this on my lunch break, and the school, when it's nice out, they obviously go to recess and they're just literally screeching from like 12 to 1 p.m. So yeah. But back to the budget, let's see what I actually need to do. So I have to put $30 into household. This is like toilet paper, flowers if I want to buy them, things like that. And then I need to put $34.17 into my phone plan. So I did. This is an update, I guess. I switched to Mint Mobile. So hooray. I put this off forever. But in January, I spent $55? No, I spent $208.08 for a year's worth of Mint Mobile because there was a deal going on. There was some sort of 50% off a yearly plan. So I decided to just go ahead and do it. And now I have Mint Mobile for a whole year, basically. But since I have already covered that, I'm going to go ahead and start saving for the next one because it's going to be like $400 something or $360 plus a bunch of taxes and fees that you don't know anything about. That's what's going on there. That's why I'm putting aside $34.17. Costco renews in March, so I don't need to do anything there. YNAB renews sometime this year. I'm not really sure. Stuff I forgot to budget for. I'm going to put $25 in here. And I haven't really decided if this is going to be like a rolling fund or if it's going to be more like, I guess I should think about this right now. I don't know if it should be a rolling fund or just keep $25 in it at a time. I'm a little whatever about it simply because, I feel like when I do generally I don't want to use this to be like, whoops, I forgot to budget for a sandwich. Like I should just, if I want to eat out, like I'm not being like, oh, I forgot to budget for this. But like I want to use it for things that are like actually unexpected expenses or bills. Like for example, one time when I left an old apartment, this was so stupid, but when I left an old apartment, I paid everything, like any remaining utilities or whatever, because they billed me for the utilities. Such a scam. But then I moved to a new apartment. A year into the move to that new apartment, they actually messaged, they threatened me with collections because they said I never paid a final utility bill, which they never freaking billed me for. So it was like 60 something. So that was an unexpected expense. That is stuff they forgot to budget for it, but I didn't know about, so it's like I had to pay for it. So that's kind of the thought with this one. Girls gotta eat. So I am trying in 2025 to keep my food spending around $400. I don't actually care if I keep it within $250 for groceries, $50 for coffee, and hold on, I messed this up. $50 for coffee and $100 for dining out. I just want to keep it between those, but since for the ease of this, I guess I have it set up with those targets in mind, but I will move the money around if I feel like it. So some money into there. My Roth IRA, I'm gonna put I have it set up so every 2 weeks it's pulling out $267, which is, so it's technically not set up for $584 a month because I get paid bi-weekly. So it's really going off the bi-weekly schedule, which means on the 3 paycheck months, I would put in like an extra contribution. So taking a look here, I think it's set up, yeah, so $267 across 26 weeks of 2025 because I'm trying to max it out. Technically it only gets me to $6,942, but at the end I will just pull $60 from somewhere and max it out. So I don't know. I've never tried to max it out on a dollar cost averaging. So I didn't know if it would stop. Okay, none of that matters. The point is I'm putting in $267 instead of the full or half of the amount. Then for my brokerage, okay, so we're coming back to this one later. Same with my nephew's savings. For my income replacement fund, let's put $100 in there. And then I'm skipping the wedding and the house down payment. Actually, I'm hiding the house down payment. Once again, the house down payment has been canceled. I'm going to do a video all about my thoughts about moving and like where to move to soon because I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I made a previous video back in July kind of going through the numbers, and at the time it didn't make any sense, but now it makes more sense I guess to move. So I'm gonna have an update to that, but the point of the matter is I'm not moving into a house, that's for sure. We're going to continue renting. Okay, some of these I've decided that yoga I'm gonna refill it just up to 30 because I didn't actually do any yoga classes. And so the idea behind this is like I can basically peruse the city for discounted classes because there's a variety of yoga studios that will do like a $10 class, a $5 class, a donation class. And with that in mind, I don't need to necessarily buy like class packs or memberships. And I just didn't do any yoga in January. I was sick. That's what happened in January. I was sick most of January. I am taking antibiotics for a sinus infection. So that's what happened in January. So I wasn't doing any yoga, but I did steal some of the money for something else. Anyways, clothing and beauty, I'm going to put $50 in there for now because I don't know. I'm going on the cruise in March, but I just don't feel like buying anything for it. Like, I'm just kind of gonna bum it, honestly. Like, I don't really care that much. Personal development is gonna get $35. This is kind of like if I have any personal development. I don't know how to explain it. Things that I want to do, because I haven't really come across anything yet. The only things I can think of is I kind of want to buy this Notion template to, like, help you manage your life. That's like $5. But I'm going to keep putting $35 into this each month to kind of just keep it rolling to see how that goes. Vacations. So my cruise, as if I have not talked about this enough. I've already set aside all the money I need for the cruise. I want to spend less than this, and I think I have a good chance because, like, the drinks category, I'm probably not going to be drinking a whole lot of alcohol. I'm almost certain, actually, because it's just not obviously that healthy. And for some of the things I'm dealing with right now, it really does not make any sense to drink alcohol now or ever. So I think I'll end up spending less. So anyways, moving on from there. Therapy, I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm getting like random bills for this, which is so annoying. The point is, I need to put more money in here, and I might do another $30 just because they can't seem to figure out how they're charging me or when they're charging me. So just to cover myself there, $30 more or $60, I guess. Medical supplies. I'm trying to make this a sinking fund, so $50 into there, and copays and everything else. Yeah, everything else is definitely the way to put it because I had something done yesterday. I have 15 more appointments. Things are happening, So for fuel, I'm going to get this back up to $80. So I'm not going to go any higher than that because I don't have any plans. So when it hits February 1st, this will basically be funded, is my understanding. Parking, it was so cold that I end up spending a lot of money in January for parking. So I'm going to try to build up a little bit of a buffer in that. Simply, it was like way too cold to wait for the bus. That's how cold I'm talking about. Too cold. AAA membership, I have not bought it yet, but we're going to start saving for next year. I don't actually know it's $100, but do they charge fees? I need to purchase that. It's been a very expensive January. So February, I don't know. I'm just trying to roll with it. My automobile expenses, so this is like yearly maintenance. I'm going to put $42 in there. My future car, I'm ignoring for now. Actually, for all of Cece's expenses, Nathan sent me some money, so I'm going to put this in here, actually. Cash App, Venmo. I don't know if I should set this as, for the sake of tracking, I do not know if I should inflow it into the categories. Because currently, we're trying to pay off my student loans, or we're trying to pay down my student loans, so I'm not putting any money into this. So he's sending me the money for it, and I manage it, if that makes sense. Okay, give me a second. So Cash App, Venmo, CC, Vet. Okay, she's got a lot in there. She needs money in her... Actually, I'm going to inflow it into Ready to Assign, because the way that we're doing it now, I think that makes more sense. So I'm going to actually make this... I don't know what to call this. Nathan CC money. So CC is our, 1.5-year-old Shih Tzu. And for this year, I'm just going to inflow the money into Ready to Assign rather than directly into the category. Okay, might help if I put Ready to Assign. Okay, so that actually increases how much money I have to use. So going down to CC's categories, I'm going to go ahead and cover... I've already got what I need for her pet insurance, which renews in August. I'm just going to follow it. $16.43 a month. I can move it around if I need to. We bought some food for her last month, so we're down to $0 in that again. So $40 in there. And then her vet expenses. Okay, I've lost track. $40 plus $16.43. I was just curious. So I've spent $156.43. So $150 minus $56.43. Okay, so $93.57 into her vet expenses. And then we've got Golden Girl Ginger down here. As of now, I don't have any plans to put money in this category. This is when my sister sends me money for Ginger, her dog's unexpected medical expenses. Go watch Using My Emergency Fund video if you want to know about that or haven't heard about it. But all that to be said, it's kind of just the money she's paying me back. I'm just putting it in a category for her. That way, if something else happens and she needs more money, I'm just going to put it back. I'm just going to give it back to her. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of just my decision with that. Okay, so down here, I'm actually going to move. We're no longer going to the Buffalo Trace store, so I'm going to move that back to Ready to Assign. We just don't feel like it. It's on a Sunday, which is not ideal. So for my books, 3604 is already in there. I'm going to refill it up to 50 again, so I don't need to do the whole amount. So I only need to put $13.96. For concerts and live events, definitely spent some money in January on this. So for $25 might not be enough, honestly. I'm going to do $50. And then 20 into Fall Festival, 35 into Summer 2025, and another $15 into Pittsburgh. Spotify, I actually am canceling Spotify. We're switching to Apple Music, and Nathan is going to pay for it. So I actually can move this money to Ready to Assign. And the reason for that is because we're just sick of it. I don't know. I think Spotify is so ugly. You know what I mean? Like, it's not very... it's just a mess. Like, if I want to actually find anything that I've added to my library, it's borderline impossible, it feels like. And it's a bunch of podcasts that they showcase that I don't care about, don't know about. I don't really care for the audiobook feature. I've used it a couple times, but I just don't read with audiobooks personally. I just cannot focus on them. I used to use the Apple podcast app, and for a while it just was not working very well on my phone, but I might try to bring it back. And just that way it's like podcasts are on the podcast app and then music's on the music app, but like Spotify is playing with me right now. For Big 10 Plus, I'm actually got a deal on this. Not sure if I talked about this yet. I had a deal on this where it was like 3 months at $6.99, which is exactly what I needed to watch Big 10 gymnastics, because I'm a gymnastics fan. So the point of the matter is I only need $7 more in here, and then I can actually go ahead and delete this target. Let's see. Because I don't have any plans to watch it for anything else. So yeah. Patreon, I've actually covered this for the year, so I'm not going to put anything in there. And then YouTube Premium. Oh, so back to Apple Music. The reason why I'm not putting money towards Apple Music is because Nathan signed up for the family plan. So I have the family plan for YouTube Premium, and he has the family plan for Apple Music, and that's what we decided to do. Okay, moving on. $18.19 to Black Friday. Oh, wait. 19 cents to Black Friday, $66.67 into Christmas and holidays. Maybe I'll move myself up here because too much is going on. Okay, Christmas in July. This is so I can buy Nutcracker tickets when they're on sale in July. I don't know if I'll need the full 150 though, so I might change it to 100, which means I only need $13.10. And then gifts, I'm going to keep putting 50 in. And then donations, I think I'm just going to leave it at 25 for now. YouTube upgrades, I'm going to leave that as well. So I have $685.66 remaining. Did I put money into... Now I can really focus on my financial goals. Okay, so $100 into the... Okay, so I put $100 into income replacement fund. Okay, so here's what's going on. I want to pay down my student loans. But I've also just decided that I'm actually going to throw money into my brokerage. This is what I'm saying. I have a problem, not really a problem, but I just love changing financial goals. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and actually, because I just put some money. This is for, I'm going to need to split this. So 144, I think 12. And I've decided that I'm going to do a whole video about this, but I'm going to put some money in a brokerage, and I have some reasons for that. It all boils down to I want to be rich. I want to be rich. So to get rich, it's not going to happen with me it's not going to happen with my current paychecks. At least if I put the money in my bank account, it's going to happen with me investing as much money as possible. So I'm investing money, but I'm also going to invest the money that I'm setting aside for my nephew, just because one of my values in life is to help my family, and my brother has a son, and I have a nephew. So when he turns 18, I'd love to be able to help him in any sort of way, just when he becomes an adult, I guess. It's not explicitly tied to an age. It's more so tied to what does he need to get ahead in life. And if I can offer that to him, I will. That being said, my goal was like $3,000 by the time he's 18. But if I invest the money, I'm going to have maybe even more money I can give to him. So that's the goal there. That's what's happening there. Let's go ahead and go into January and just cover any overspent. So I did overspend a little on dining out. I really contemplated putting this under medical just because I had a procedure yesterday and I could not eat the day before and the day of. So you know what that means. When I could eat, I was like, well, I probably should treat myself to something. So I ended up kind of going over budget there because I was doing pretty well with sticking to 400, but now I'm like slightly over for my monthly food spending for January. But that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and approve all these transactions because before I get into my financial goals, I really want to make sure that I'm not messing up anything else. So, Target. What is this? Oh, this has to go into medical. This was a medical yada yada. Medical supplies. No, medical. It's medical. Copay is everything else. Because it was some stuff I needed for the procedure, blah, blah, blah. Let me approve all these transactions. Brief detour from the actual budgeting to make sure everything's up to date with this. And then the travel Amex is just a payment. And then what's happening here? This. And then, oh, yes, I did indeed buy some Dairy Queen as well after the procedure. Okay, so one overspent here. Let me go into, it's not even listed. Hold on. I hate Capital One, you know. They really just do not do anything. Like, they're so slow. They're so slow. All I'm trying to figure out is how much my tires are going to cost. You would think that would not be as hard as it seems to be, but hold on. I don't think they've charged me yet because I need to... I'm going on Saturday, so I think it's just pending. But now it's not pending, so hold on. $827.76. Taking a look here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on here. Discount tires $827.76, and I'll leave it uncleared for now. And then if I go into my dining out, I'm gonna cover the overspending with the leftover tire money, so $22.24, and then the remaining $11.55. I'm gonna pull this $1 and move it over to dining out. And then do I have anything else I can pull from? Not really, but that's all right. Okay, so, well, YouTube Premium, let's go ahead and move this 12 cents. Every penny counts, folks. Every penny counts. Same with Apple Care, dining out. Let's move it on over. So then the remaining, I'm just gonna cover it from ready to assign. Okay, now that I've done that, let's see how much money I can put towards my student loans and my brokerage account and my income replacement. So I have $675.30. So I read this blog. I'm getting back into the blogs. I read this blog post that was talking about like emergency funds, and it was actually pretty controversial. And they basically said that you really don't need one, and it's kind of hindering you. And obviously, like, it's not as black and white as that. But I bring this up all to say that it really got the wheels turning in my head. So I did open a brokerage account, and I should add that later, I guess, because I literally just did it. But now I'm kind of just thinking, like, obviously put money into my Roth IRA, pay down my student loans, and basically what I'm saying is like, I already have like, what is this, $14,000, like $771, like $11-ish thousand, and after I pay my credit cards, I have like $11,000 or so in my checking accounts and cash accounts. I feel like the YNAB method really emphasizes a lot of cash holdings, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and clearly it works for many people. However, I always love like kind of evolving my thinking and my finances. So now I'm kind of shifting again to the point where I'm like, I don't want to have too much cash on hand. And I kind of had this thought process before. I want to do a whole video on this. It's not that I have like I basically want to get to the point where I have a set amount of cash that I like to hover around. But then everything else really needs to get thrown into investments. And just because I don't necessarily have to invest at all in Roth IRA. In fact, it doesn't necessarily make that much sense. Like, of course, max it out. But after that, I guess for me, it wouldn't be the Roth IRA. It'd be like my 457, so my supplemental retirement account, because I have a pension account. Doesn't make sense to siphon it all into my 457B, or maybe it does. I don't know. Point is, I'm thinking about brokerages lately. Because I want to be rich. I want to be rich, everyone. I want to be rich, folks. I want to be rich. And to do that, I need the money to keep rolling. I need it to keep growing, you know? So anyways, I think what I'm leaning towards is putting another $150 in my income replacement fund. Another $150 into my income replacement fund. And then, this is kind of messed up. I'm going to put, let's do, what's 110 do? It gets me up to 300. But then what does 415.30? Should I really put that much in the brokerage? We're exercising a new muscle here, basically. I'm gonna do 300 to the brokerage and 115.30 to my student loans. So 115.30 to, okay, so I'm gonna do, yes, I think what I'm gonna do is pay off my student loans. Not in this video. I'm going to make a payment. We'll talk about it in another video. And then the brokerage, I might sit on it for a couple days just to really think through it. That way I'm not just making sure I didn't forget anything essentially before I end up tossing that money in the brokerage, because it's obviously less accessible once it's in the brokerage. But yeah, so I've given every dollar a job in the budgeting software YNAB. I don't know, I love budgeting. I love doing budget with me. So if you like this video and you want to see more of it, definitely like the video and subscribe and stick around, because I'd love to have you here. But otherwise, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye now.